Oh my god, I've been muted this whole time. Well, that's embarrassing. How long in this stream was I? Not 20 minutes, you know. That's good. Basically just been screaming into the void. Okay. Well, since no one else heard exactly what I've been talking about, I got my corridors to work. That's cool. I was looking at this, and obviously my system will not make this nicely, because the way they work obviously is they have these little pieces, and I just fit together these pieces in a way that kind of makes sense. But obviously my pieces don't work like this. This is not a thing that you can, or would be nice to make kind of like chunk size pieces. Alright, so instead of doing that, I'm just trying to think if there's a way to nicely put all these, and then you'd like, assuming you could put all these down, right? You could then be able to check like the adjacent pieces if they would fit, I guess. I just hate this corner piece though, because this corner piece would be such a pain to figure out, because I'd have to check that all 4 pieces, I guess. Do that. I really wish that whoever made this piece had like made a way that I could just have like, I almost wish that they made the top part separate, right? Like this little part here. I wish they made that a separate piece, and then just made them the straight wall. And then I also that you'd have a corner that was just like this piece. I mean, I really like the acid. It's like, it's a nice, very reusable thing generally, but just limiting, really limiting in the fact that I can't make corridors like that. I mean, if I did, I'd have to basically redo. Like, the only real nice way to make corridors that would be dynamically like tiled in, like I was kind of explaining before, would be to instead use like the straight pieces. I guess I would like some of these ones that aren't visually showing. No. That's just a half. I don't know, they have ones that are straight. Obviously, like, it's basically this, right? So you could like I could potentially make things like that, where like you just make the hallways like that. Kind of shame. I mean, it's also like I think the doors that I was planning to use don't really work like that, but like the doors in this set are, where are you? Where are you, doors? I think off of this. This thing. This is, I think, might be my other prefab, but the actual prefab, right? But like, they're specifically designed to work for that type of door, not for the type that elsewhere. Although I don't think this is actually their door. I might have. Oh, I'm like scramming another mesh. It's not even meant to be there. That's unfortunate. I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter, then I can just make a different door. I also just don't want to spend an entire stream remaking I'm deleting these things and moving them. It really doesn't matter. I don't want to spend the whole stream just like remaking these stupid prefabs again. That took so long, and it was really, really boring. But it might have to be done. I'll also have to have a think to see if these things will nicely, like the way I set it up, right? Because I set it up with these kind of ideas of corridors and junctions, and kind of whether or not, you know, the idea of a junction and a corridor makes sense still in like this type of world. I guess a junction would just be by base a 4x4 thing, right, of tiles, and then a corridor would be a 2x length thing, right? And then they would figure out their walls based on the stuff around them. I mean, mainly it's just the junction would have to figure out if it had corners. Otherwise, it would not do anything. I guess maybe a junction would actually at least be a 8x8. Not 8x8. Is it 8? No, it's 2x2. No, so it'd be 4x4. We kind of consume these spaces because then it would be better able to. Because you wouldn't always put things down there, but like it would like occupy that space and you kind of put it down. Which is, I think, still less than it does now. Right, like this. It's actually a 6x6. Or that's six pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, so it'd be 4x4 instead in space. And I guess the idea would be that I can kind of generate the side pieces as needed. I wonder if I could do it with just like one junction prefab and one corridor prefab. Now I'm just thinking dangerous things. I was so excited and hopeful to be able to get into potentially working on procedural generation connecting all the corridors, but this might have to bump that out. So, am I this crazy? Do I want to completely redo how all these prefabs look? I might, because I wonder if this, so that gives me other potential benefits in that I might be able to reload this. It might help, like, obviously it handles these situations, right? But also, like, could handle I don't even know what happens. I don't want to move that far. What if what even happens if I do this? Does that actually handle properly? That might actually be handled. Oh god. It does not handle properly. I feel like I mean, okay, so it can. This one actually could, I feel, be right if I set it up correctly. Right, like if let's see if I can visualize a way that this would actually connect properly. Although, yeah, no, because okay, so I don't like it. I mean, obviously, yeah, this is not going to be within the system, current system's capability, but like you could have this, have straight, then we connect here. This one, this first, I guess even in that case. See. But yeah, if I went with the 4 by I mean, part of me just wonders if I actually went with the 4 by. These are 6 by 6, right? If I went with the 4 by 4, if how many of these type of issues would just disappear because I'm using a more versatile layout. But I'm not sure if that would matter necessarily. You could still be halved. Well, I guess in some ways I'd be able to do like single unit corridors. You'd be able to fill in more gaps. And not be locked into such big turns. God, I hate it. I don't want to make all these rooms and resize my grid. Do all these things. But I kind of do. Let's see. I want to see if I go down this route. First, of maybe changing it to a 4x4 grid of items, and then after doing the other thing. I just want to know, like, how crazy is this? I can change the grid size just by number here in this prefab, right? So, kind of that way. It's not too crazy to remake this. Why don't I go save? I will save scene as scenes, testing grounds, 4x4. I'm just gonna now basically in complete craziness decide that I'm going to change this to 4. This refers to like these things, right? Yeah, so I'm gonna just go also create here a folder for the 6x6. Take all of those and then create folder for 4x4 and proceed to just drive myself insane here. So it's just drag all of these in here, make basically duplicates of all of them. And then storage closet I'm gonna need. Well, first, just get it done quick and dirty, and then I'm going to work a little bit more and get the rest. With the quarter generator, how do I figure out the size? I guess they're all, yeah, no, they figure out their sizes by the size of these things. They have their own sizes. I'll have to fix up. Okay. Let's just lower this down. Guess, yeah, diagonal, sure. I don't even know if I'll need a diagonal. Maybe I can get away with not having it needed. But we'll see. And then canvas, grid. I know that these just, you get their width controlled by the grid, right? So if I go 4 by 4, damn, suddenly have a much smaller grid. Like almost duplicate all of them again. This is such a bad way to do grids. 400 little items just be my grid. And I could probably made like probably some sort of shader that does this nicer, but I mean, Unity. I'm just moving 200 items. What's the problem? Be nothing. If I did like break Unity. There you go. Yeah. I wonder if that was like part of the lagginess that I'm like creating this thing. Like static. I don't know if that does literally anything, but yeah, it works. Okay. So yeah, let's start with something maybe simple. Okay. So delete, 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 delete. Okay, and actually this was the other thought that I had, is that could I instead of other problem, save this, is in this cross shape function way, if I actually have it kind of extend out, instead of being a 2x2, the problem here is that I'm still maybe open to a situation where, right, we have these openings, but we have like another one that comes open here, right? So this is basically the same problem that I had before. Right, so if there's a straight that wants to come in here, it's gonna hit that line, and then I'm not gonna have any way of managing that. Well, that's basically at this point. So basically, like if you had a line, right, that was going this way, you'd basically just end up making another room, right? I mean, I guess this is kind of confusing looking at it like this, but I just took go and select this, open, just for visualization purpose. I hide these, right? And to now both of these like this, and then this one's like this, right? So I have like another room coming into here, so this is like a T-junction, right? Yeah, but then how is this one? How is there like two lines that are basically right next to each other? That should basically be impossible, right? Like that there should be two doors that are right next to each other. What isn't that like? Was that the problem that was up here? Not really. I'm just gonna save this quickly, go back to the other scene, look at it for a second, and then just make sure that before I spend any time really diving into this, that I'm not gonna screw myself later. Okay, and it's good to know that. I guess the way I was lining those up is kind of weird compared to how this system works, because the doors are on the center part of these folds. Do I maybe change that when I go to 4x4, or do I keep that the same? Not sure. Because obviously the door is going to be, in this case it's 6. Yeah, it's wide. No, I guess it's each thing is 6, so I guess this is 12 units wide. And so in this way, okay, so I have to go back to the 4x4 version. And just N over. The actual comparison then would actually be more like this. And that, or that. I guess this would be like the worst case scenario, right? So I guess in this case, I do want there typically to be, I would want my junction pieces to just be the centers. Because if you extend them out, that does create that problem, right? Kind of visualize out. Else, so it would be like this. So I would have open. What I might do to just proof of concept this stuff first is just put down these pieces, and then so I'll straighten out all these ones just to be that. Get a better way of thinking about this. And again, also do need to fix this, so just need to make it 4, 8, 4, 8. And so technically, because it will have those bounds, although the way I'm building, maybe it is 4 and 4. Maybe I make these things like generate their sides after the fact. Is that even like logical? Maybe. we'll see. Okay, why don't we just go with that for now? This crazy assumption. Okay, so we have a cross prefab. It's kind of interesting. Here. And basically all the walls I'm gonna hide. I'm just hiding them for now. So I guess I could delete them, I just want to be careful. And then here. I wonder if I can save. All these are gonna have the same bounds. I just wonder if I can go like this. Copy, yeah. Paste. And yeah. So I got cross and straight done. And then delete that now. I'm not gonna care about diagonal. I will do three-way. Open. Paste. Then again, take all the walls. Disable them. Feels like almost that I probably should have just gone with like a grid tile instantiation type thing or something to make walls, but we'll see. Who knows, even this way might not even work out that well. Turn. Open. Paste. Take all the walls, disable them. All of these, all of those, disable. Autosave. Yep. Oh, wow. Neat journey for the crown. And party of 19. That's a lot of people that have jumped into here. This is the most people I've ever had in my stream here. You jumped in while I was doing probably the most boring thing ever, which is changing prefabs. So, yeah. Hello. How are you? How is Journey for the Crow and or Journey for the Crown? And what did I do? I realized that little alert box is in a terrible position. Let me fix that. It is now not in a terrible position. Journey for the Crown. What do you do? Do you do dev stuff as well, or are you just doing other things? By the way, I am Risky Basket Games. I am making procedural generation for like a horror game that uses like Morse code. And so I can show you guys what actually the game is that I have so far, which is the actual proper scene. Show the game mechanics. So I'm building up procedural generation so I can build levels more dynamically. Kind of make it so it's going to be like a roguelike in essence, kind of, that you're going in these like rooms of this like abandoned lab and trying to salvage things and kind of reclaim the science that was kind of lost in this lab. Let me down a little bit. isn't it? I don't know, it feels really loud to me. Maybe it's not really loud for you. Actually, probably not very loud for you guys at all. And then it's like over louding. Let's put that a little bit higher. Hopefully that's a little bit. Basically, so I have this little guy. He's in this lab, and you'll see that there's doors, and they have a letter on it. And so then I'll have to go into the menu, figure out what that letter is in Morse code. In this case, it's just a dot. So I go space. I open the door. There's going to be many other doors. So like this one's K. So then I go here and find K, which is dash dot dash. Dash dot dash. So eventually I'm going to have like things where you're searching and doing stuff. But the only other thing I have right now is this is kind of like demo level, and I have a sector unlocked, which this is dash dash dot K, which I just did, so I should know, but I do not. It's dash dot dash. So dash dot dash. Code, which you can put in the terminal. Yes. And that will open a bunch of doors here, but also opens the way to a monster, which will probably that's kind of like the basics. I have this whole demo level that people are interested in checking out. Get thanks. You want to try out the demo? Oh yeah, sorry, I will tone down the... I'll just mute this audio. Now that you've heard it once, you don't need to hear it multiple times. So we'll tone that down. But yeah, so if you're interested in checking out the demo for yourself and trying to play it, you can join that link and just go to the playtest links and try it out and let me know how you think about it. It's basically a kind of proof of concept of all of the Morse code mechanics and stuff, like to open doors, and there's this whole concept of some doors you need to kind of go to that console and kind of unlock permission slots and stuff. So I was in that level, I was practicing a bunch of those mechanics. But now I've been really just for the last like couple of weeks, because I only get to work on this late at night and only some nights. I've been working on the procedural generation part, which for the procedural generation, I've kind of done this in two parts. So I have the ability to, for this guy, assuming I haven't exploded it somehow just before this, I can like spawn a bunch of rooms, and they get kind of spawned somewhat randomly in kind of an order that should ideally allow them to be connected via corridors. And then I am going to connect them with corridors, which I've been working on separately. It's educational in the sense that, like, it's teaching you how to use Morse code, but it's just because I like to have some sort of like takeaway from the game rather than doing that way. Yeah. Lance says, getting set up at work, so audio only for the moment, will be turned into the vid shortly. Journey is making an awesome RPG, and I'm trying to tackle a space game. Sweet. So obviously RPG is very broad. Is that like, they're a little more than just RPG, or what is it? Actually, gonna open up your channel and give you a follow so I can check you out later. But that's in Unity too. Sweet. We'll definitely try to check it out. That's right. I know, so Lance, what type of space game? Obviously, that's also very open to. Cool to hear what's going on there. Yeah, I was just going to show. I have this ability to generate corridors. Just slightly ambitious, eh, Journey? No, just. Oh god, those are horrible corridors. Don't look. I move it over here, maybe that will be fine. Yeah, so this is my corridors. And so what I was just about to do when you guys came in is I've struggled with the way that I've set these up, because basically these tiles here are all assuming a kind of, this is I guess 12 by 12 units in Unity at least, but it's like 6 individual pieces that are all 2 by 2 in length. It's just really cumbersome though. Like there's so many situations where, like, you can see, you saw maybe just a moment ago, where like if you have the corridors at just like a slight movement to the side, they just totally do not want to do that. And so I was going to try and in another scene experiment with, if I went and did essentially a 4 by 4, but right now it's going to look like a single 2 by 2 like tile thing, and try to connect those up, and then maybe dynamically spawn the walls afterward. If I can maybe get around some of these pains that I'm having with that type of stuff. Thanks. Yeah, it's actually kind of funny you said that, because I've been experimenting with, if you go to the, you can see this in the menu if you play the demo. I've actually like been trying to figure out whether or not I want to go the top down, or I have this like first person view of it, which is basically the same level, right? It's just first person view of everything. But I've been testing out as well, which I like each one for different reasons. So I'm trying to figure out which one eventually that I kind of like more. I really like the first person for like the horror aspect, right? Like the monster just looks that much more terrifying when he's charging out at you, like in a hallway, you know, and you have just this like dinky little flashlight that shows you what's ahead of you. But then the other thing that I like about the top down is you kind of get like a more tactical view of some things, and eventually it's like my vision for it is that the guys that you're like sending down here are not like normal people. They're like prisoners, and you're kind of like, you're in charge of like a prison colony that's like sending these guys down, so that they're trying to get some years off their like sentences basically. And so you're sending them down to get salvage stuff, and if they die, you know, obviously you lose them as like an ability to use them, and then but you can only use them so many times before they like get set free. But in that kind of meta game where you're collecting these resources and like building kind of like a base on them in that like the macro level of the game, in the micro loop of the game, it might make more sense to be a top down, because you're not like actually that person. You're just somebody kind of like guiding that person narratively. So on that kind of sense, maybe the top down makes a little bit more sense too. But yeah, that's what I'm just supporting both for now until I reach a point where that's no longer tenable, and then I have to make a decision. But I'm probably going to procrastinate that for a while. Yeah. Irish Strong Games, thanks for the follow, man. Yeah, just gonna. I want to see. Okay, so I have these 4 pieces. I'm just gonna quickly see. Okay, those are not gonna work out. Okay, I need to do a little bit more changes to these guys. So the way I set these up is that they have little bounds, but they also have these little nav points, which kind of tells like things where they can connect to each one of these rooms. So I need to move all those down so that they now form this in. Thread, thanks for putting some cool stuff together. You've been doing this for a bit. I mean, this project I've been like working on here and there for a while, but never really like consistently. And then probably in the last month or so, I've just been aiming on constantly streaming it, and then that kind of motivates me to just constantly keep working on it, because just even though this is like the most people I've ever had in here, it's just kind of fun to like be able to talk it out, and makes it just more interesting in a way that, you know, just developing it normally doesn't quite do. Just kind of try to find this time in the day otherwise. Lloyd Soro, the face. Points. Okay. Keep forgetting I'm doing this in non-prefab mode, so I need to override them. Did I do that with straight? Okay, let's just actually go open the prefab. Directly drag these down. Directly drag this up. And then doing that, go out. So I've done this, I've done cross nicely, straight. The 3-way turn, all these are good. Okay. I think the only one I have to still edit, I have to edit storage closet events really, but I don't really have to do that quite yet. So I'm just gonna open this guy. He is going to have an X, I guess, of -2 still. The Y of 1. This width is going to be 4. And this is 2. Yeah. The idea of this guy is that he's half the length of the straight, so he's just the smallest possible piece. Is that, yeah, bounds work there, and then just moving this point up and this net point down. Okay. Now I put those there. So I have, obviously these are not really like exciting pieces to connect. I guess also none of these rooms are made right, but I just want to test the corridor generation part first, and then I'll see if I want to indulge in going through this insanity for everything. So go into the 4x4 and lock this temporarily. Take my straight piece and half straight, and then the turn. Jenny, I've probably been using it for like 9 years, I think. I started it in school in like 2014 when I first started my exposure to the wonders that is Unity. so that's part of it. Let's just get some of these doors on some sort of pivot point. $13 must have been pretty OG on the using of Unity. That's probably like, that was back when it was just like probably Mac only, right? Let's see if that works at all. Okay. Ah, cool. So kind of made things. Just definitely is not assuming the right distances. But why did I use the... Where am I getting my distances from? Is that in spawn corridor, grid size? It is grid size. Find and generate. Ah, there we go. Okay. So just change that temporarily to 4. 4, right? Yeah, that should. Oh wait, I didn't. I guess Journey of the Crown. How long have you been using Unity for? Unity for? Probably not going to beat Lance, but no. Interesting to know. Journey for the Crown. I need to like so many words put together. My brain sometimes just. Nice. We're all a bunch of long-time Unity guys then. Why is this being putting half straight and then a couple of straights here, but this actually, no, it's definitely 4 wide. Maybe I should do 2. I don't know why. I feel like that whole range though of like 2013, 2014 was when like really good things happened to Unity. I think it was like 2014 or 2015. Oh, it was 2014 when like 2D actually in their UI inbuilt stuff actually became a thing. Events have encouraged me to explore other engines. So far, I've really been impressed by Flax, and Godot is proving annoyingly fun. I keep my options open, but I really want to use Unity when it's back. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of weird, like, at least from my perspective, because I both work at a company that uses Unity at a large scale, and then it personally is like a potential indie that might sell a game at some point. And I feel like in the current version now that they've proposed, as an indie, I would probably never be in a situation where they're going to charge me anything. So I'm basically getting something for free forever. And I guess in my work situation, like, yes, it's going to be a fee, but it's not going to really impact, I think, our bottom line too much. Especially considering, like, my company has a good relationship with Unity directly, so it's not like we're just a person that Unity doesn't care about. There might even be some negotiation on the part. No, I don't know. I don't know how big it's going to be. I mean, they just fired their CEO, so maybe they'll just say, like, hey, that was his terrible, horrible idea. We're not even going to do it anymore. But, maybe they figure something else out. All right, so this actually seems to connect pretty well. Let me just try to move these doors into a way that would maybe be bad. That's directly there. Let's do that. Though, Lance, I'm really interested to know, like, obviously you seem to be frustrated with the system that they put out. Like, do you think that it was actually going to affect you in a major way, or I guess you work at a company that would have done that? It's like I get the whole, like, it was a terrible communication strategy, and it didn't really feel great that they would do that to a lot of people that kind of loyally supported them. But in the same way, I didn't think it was going to actually have as big of an impact to most people than maybe the community was letting on, right? So I might have even put that in the wrong. This is right. It actually does seem to nicely handle some pretty odd door arrangements. After I calmed down, it seemed like, yeah, and I get, like, people being angry, especially, like, I can imagine if you were like a small company that is making like an ad-based game that was just about to release in like 2024. You probably were not, like, happy and probably freaking out because your business strategy and your business plan probably was about to go up in flames. Um, so I can fully expect a lot of those people would have not been happy. Although hopefully they're maybe now in a bit better of a spot, but um, like, it is one of those things where, like, one of those fascinating things that I've read, right, like, is that, like, I think Unity has, like, never been a profitable business, right? Like, they've never made money, which in this current world of high interest rates globally uh, isn't a viable business strategy much anymore. So they were trying to figure out a way, like, hey, how can we maybe be profitable, and they tried something. Probably wasn't the best way, but they did try something. Okay. Whoa. Yeah, the walkback is much more reasonable. It's just that they broke a lot of trust with Plan A. Wouldn't affect me financially, but it was still a terrible, terrible idea. What could have affected everyone, including us, would be if they had kept the whole retroactive angle. They ignored all the protections that were in place, which means they could do it again, showing that they're willing to throw away promises when they become inconvenience is a huge red flag. Yeah. No, yeah, I mean, I guess that is, I think, a comment, like a general feeling that I think a lot of people did express with the retroactiveness. I mean, I think it's kind of one of those weird things because if you, I mean, you can say you were going to do it, which obviously does break the trust, but like whether or not they would actually have been able to do it is another thing. I think there's like probably some things where I assume if they had tried, that probably would have ended up in court somewhere, someplace. Whether or not you can actually just give people one set of user license agreements and then kind of change it, it is pretty crazy. I mean, that being said, even though like I think the sneaky thing that they do with saying that, hey, you can use Unity 2022 or whatever it is forever and ever and ever, is that in reality you can't really use that forever and ever. Maybe for like PC games and stuff like that, but if you're working in mobile, give it like 3 years, you won't be able to submit any games to Apple or Google if you have a certain version of Unity. So you're gonna get their new license agreement at some point. Just is okay. So now that I've done this whole thing, and it actually does seem way better to just make corridors that are like this. I do now have to think about how I actually spawn the walls, because it's all cool to have some ground, but you do need walls. Walking through this does not have the same feeling as walking through something with walls. And so come to the part where I figure out how I do that. Obviously, it's simple enough to put the walls on most pieces, but it's just like these joints, right? The connection points. There's gonna either be, well, there's definitely gonna be basically overlap, right? I'm really happy with this thing. This actually is, just full disclosure, this isn't mine. This is like an asset store thing that I just bought. It's a really cool little set. They even like supplied this little like random tool, which I don't use much, but I like the rotation handlers because I can like group select some stuff, and actually like it rotates the group, not like that stuff. But amazing what you can get on the asset store for pretty cheap just to build the game, because I have almost zero artistic talent, so all my talents are in coding and design, like game design stuff. Okay, so my thought here is if I potentially, so I would have all the straights. I'd have everything basically have a wall, and then in certain situations I might be able to say like from the joints. These are the joints, right? So they're neighboring pieces. They're like the end kind of corridor pieces that like, hey, turn off this one. Or in this case, I would just like say turn off that one, your wall, so that you don't have a duplicate wall. So that's a hacky way that I could do it and not have to turn anything off. Yeah, no, it was pretty cool. I ended up now I have my own little transform thingy that I use for most of the stuff, but the left up right down also, like, this is like for moving things according to the handlers, which is nice. I just kind of wish they put the buttons on the top. And actually, I might just change the script into that. What is this thing called again? Source edit. Source edit object grid repositioner. Is that what it's called? No, object snap. Okay, damn. SRC edit. Where's object snap? Let's just do a little tweaky tweak. Take these guys. Right now I need to probably take all the way up to here. Cut that. Then I don't know if I do need stuff from there. I do need these. Okay, so let's take these, just put them up there. Okay, cool. Random thought, but yeah, I didn't like to have to scroll down to get to these things, so hopefully now that I've repositioned these, I did a little recompile. So come on. Why did you not change today? Saved. Totally saved. Why are you... Did I not properly recompile it? Weird. Source object snap. I'm curious. Thanks, Journey to the Grounds. Super appreciate the raid too. It's awesome. Being able to chat about people and things. I'm also really confused why this is not. Force another recompile and see if it. And then snap utility. So weird. I just think I'm into the right thing, right? On query. Scriptable wizard. But like find the wrong thing to move, no? That is not that. Very confused now because I did move all these things up to the top. I wonder if I have to like reload Unity now. Like, should do. A long time ago, I set there's a preference setting is thing about recompile. No, it's not recompile, it's like the asset pipeline, and then I turned off auto refresh. Because at least in my work there was like a thing that could crash it if it was enabled, but maybe I should just enable it outside of play mode. See if that does it. I don't think it would do it though, because it has recompiled. It's just maybe if like, I wonder if I like play the game. Oh, prompt now. No, still doesn't fix it. No, this Windows just not wanting to change, I guess. That's fine. I'll figure out that later. All our pressing is figuring out how to put the edges on. Now, the hacky way that I was going to do, because everyone always loves a good hack, right? Is I could go into, first let's go to the cross piece, set that up. The cross piece is going to have the, I guess I do have to kind of turn them off in some situations, don't I? Do I guess we'll see if my hack works, and if it doesn't work, then I'll spend some time making the proper way. Okay, so in Quarto generator here, right, I haven't unlocked this. Okay, open this. I'm going to click this just so I can find the pieces that I care about, and it's the one I want. This is a corner. Okay, cool. So I take these globals, it locks, 2, rotate, weird, pivot point, right. Maybe that's better. So set that to 0, and then set that to 2, so not odd. Okay. And then duplicate you, over here, rotate. Rotate's very odd. Duplicate, put it over here, rotate. Probably rotate it first before moving it. I guess I can't see what it looks like before I rotate it. So there we go. So here's the cross piece. And then for this guy, open him up again. And we're going to pick this same guy again. Going to snap him over here. Yes, again, rotating. Interesting, so if I do center, kind of works. Kind of feels like it's moving it. Very weird. The rotation, I guess because this is purely rotating. My snaps are definitely not, I think they're not rotating around the right angle or the right pivot, so that's why it looks really weird, I think, when I'm doing this. Okay, and then for this part, I'm expecting that there will be a flat piece coming in. So I just need to get these two walls, which basically do this. Boom. Duplicate, and boom. Okay, these don't have weird things. Hard set that to on value. And then that's good. I mean, it still looks kind of weird at first glance, but it's actually good. And let's open this guy. Do something similar. Drag piece in. There. Rotate. Grab you. Duplicate. Grab you. Duplicate. You duplicate. You. Could also just maybe my settings here. Let's make this 90. And then I will want one of these guys again. Yeah, one of these guys for the corner here. And then I will need a thing to go up there, which would look like this. But I need to the right height. So it'll be default, not the right height. Okay. Oh, I made them the vent ones. Too many vents. I don't like it. Not make it the vent one. Boom, boom. Okay. Then duplicate. Rotate. Okay. Go. And then that one's good. Okay. Next up is this one. I have this one and the half piece to do. So for these ones, because they're going to be coming into potentially these guys, what I'm going to do is I'll open here. I will drag the non-bend thing in here. Position, rotate, rotate. Get you here, and then I'm going to take this Y position and go negative 0.01. That's like minusculely. Okay. Off. I'd still just take. Oh, he even rotates weirdly. Weird. Go back to pivot. Okay. Then that goes like that. Okay, cool. All good. Then same thing for this guy. Open. Take the non-bent one. Fit here. Rotate. Actually seeming to work a little bit better on the right. Okay. And then I need to take all of these to negative 0.01. Just fractionally lower than any other piece. See how that looks. Okay. That seems to do the trick. Got some corridors. Obviously, the rooms are not going to match up nicely, but where the actual corridor straight pieces meet the edge pieces, that actually works fairly nicely. So I'm pretty decently content with that. Okay, so I might just have to do that, and then I'll go and fix all these other rooms over later, because that's just pure like flipping these things around, and I don't think anyone wants to watch that. So I've done that. Basically, it's pretty close to when I was going to sign off. So I might, since I actually have people here, I wonder if just find some place to raid. I've never done that before though, so how does one do this? No raidable chance. Okay. I like find a person. I wonder if we look over here. Am I even allowed to do this? Raid channel. Okay. Pick a channel to raid. I guess I need to go into Twitch first and actually find a channel in the category. Wait, browse. Software development. Let's see if there's anyone using Unity. Okay, and then there's an A waifu def. There's poetry with me. Yeah, thanks for joining, Lance. Thanks for talking. Feels like it's not anything, but let's try poetry with me. So this is Maxa. Let's see if I can find this channel in the raid thing. 4 A's. There we go. Try this. Ah, okay. They don't allow me to raid. I don't know how to raid, so I'm just gonna have to sign up. I'll figure out how to do that, I guess, another day. It was a little impromptu, and I tried, but I failed. Yeah. Thanks for joining, everyone. I really appreciate you coming around and seeing me make a corridor. And yeah, if you have some time, check out the game in the Discord link and share again. Here. Otherwise, thanks for watching and have a good night.